Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called 12 Reasons Why Canada is the Best Country in the World 2022. Okay, so those are some pretty big words. I think each Canadian thinks their country is the best in the world. I don't know, that's what I believe. But I'm excited to check it out and see if other non-Canadians are going to think it is the greatest country on earth. So let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
White North, the country which is very highly regarded across the world. Personally, I've never heard a bad word spoken about this beautiful country. From the freezing cold, raw north to the clear...
I think it's because they have such a nice reputation that you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that hates Canada.
In metropolitan, bustling cities, Canada has it all. The polite, maple syrup, ice hockey loving people are renowned across the world.
Is that a stereotype? Is it rude to say they're maple loving, hockey playing people?
As being some of the friendliest, most welcoming citizens in the world. Hey guys, welcome back to the Geography Bible. My name's Sam, I'm your narrator for the video. How's it going? In this video, we will give you 12 reasons why we think Canada is the best country in the world. If you are Canadian watching this video, then feel free to comment below confirming or voicing your opinion on our points.
They'll agree.
So let's kick off this video with number 12, the people. Canadians are funny, friendly, easygoing, welcoming, kind and polite. Yes. Of course, however, this doesn't mean that every single Canadian is friendly, as no country is perfect. But
they don't make them in a factory. They don't make Canadians in factories and clones and they're all perfect, they're all super nice. No, of course not.
Overall, Canadians are seen as some of the friendliest people in the world. In my eyes, they are quite similar to Australians, where everyone seems to be everyone else's mate until proven otherwise. The outdoor lifestyle.
I don't think I've ever heard that comparison before, but yeah, I think it makes sense. They're both laid back and chill, so I guess it makes sense.
And the great quality of life, as well as the great education, means that people are generally happy and respect each other. Number 11.
They don't have any worries.
Canada is culturally diverse and accepting. The country is pretty progressive and very multicultural. When you move to Canada, you are encouraged to keep your traditions, religion, language and culture. In Toronto alone, there are more than 150 languages spoken, and more than 20% of the population
How big is Toronto?
of Canada was born abroad. It's not possible to walk down a street in Vancouver or Toronto without hearing a foreign language or catching the scent of some tempting international cuisine. Visit
I didn't know they had that many immigrants.
any major city in Canada and you will feel like you're taking a tour to more than just one country. Neighborhoods like Chinatown, Little Italy or even Koreatown in Toronto can be found in the major cities and provide an immersive cultural experience for tourists and the natives. Number 10, its terrain and climate. You'd be forgiven for thinking Canada is all about mountains and forests, when in fact it boasts some stunning beaches too. Long Beach, which is in Vancouver Island, British Columbia, is probably one of the most famous. Long, sandy shores with scenery to rival any you might see on a postcard from around the world.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's a beach, but can you swim in there? To me, it's not really an actual beach until you can swim in there.
This is just one of many amazing beaches Canada-wide. From the Rockies to the Three Sisters, Canada has some serious mountain action going on.
Love them.
Amazing snow-capped peaks offer not only stunning views, but also amazing sporting opportunities, from skiing to hiking to paragliding, if you're into that. Canada has a wonderfully...
Or you can just chill by the chimney and with a cup of hot chocolate or some coffee.
varied climate, from permafrost in the north to a much warmer climate towards the south. In summer, if you're in the right place, temperatures can easily reach 35 degrees Celsius. Autumn in Canada is relatively
That is kind of hot.
short, but a wonderful burst of bright colours that you'll look forward to every single year. Number 9, it's nature and landscapes. Words really can't do justice just how beautiful Canada is. It's also massive, and this means that when you want to get away from it all, get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, you really can do. From forests to lakes and mountains, the landscape is varied and raw and gorgeous. Canada is easily one of, if not the
This doesn't even look real. Oh my god, this is incredible.
most beautiful country in the world. In fact, it made number 1 in our top naturally beautiful countries.
Doesn't surprise me one bit, just because all the landscapes are so incredibly gorgeous and beautiful that it's totally deserved.
Number 8. Spacious big housing. Canadian houses tend to be
Oh.
much larger than the houses in the UK, for example,
Oh.
and at much higher
Yeah, because the houses in the UK are tiny.
value for money. This, of course, due in part to the fact that there are lots
big.
more space to offer in Canada.
Yeah.
You'll find that even the average family home feels a lot more spacious
I don't know if this is a farm or what, but I would move there in a heartbeat.
with a big garden, and having room makes it easier for families to get on well. If everyone has their own space,
God.
they are more likely to keep to themselves
Is it a
and cause
hotel?
less problems within the neighbourhood. Number
is
7, the
beautiful.
economy, jobs and high wages. Although Canada's population is relatively low, especially compared to its brother
that a
America,
whale?
it
What
still
is this?
makes the top 10 largest economies on Earth. Canada's economy is growing, and growth
I think it's sad is because it's in comparison to the US, but just on their own, they're doing incredibly well.
inspires more need, which opens up all sorts of opportunities for
Yeah, of
professionals.
course.
But not only are there great opportunities, Canada's laid back and relaxed lifestyle means that there is less of the stress you might experience
Okay, if they're so relaxed and chill, then how are they working? How are they earning their money?
in your home country. Number 6, the space and the population density. So, very similar to Australia, Canada is the second
Oh,
largest country
true.
in the world, only behind Russia. When you are living in
Yeah, but almost no one lives there.
town, a village, a neighborhood, or wherever you are, there is a lot more space to deal with, and homes, of course, are
Yeah.
much bigger. Canada also has huge parks, conservation areas, and big open spaces. This means a lot
You have space to roam as if you were a cow or cattle.
of extra breathing room because the country is not overpopulated. Canada
that's
is
so
actually
nice.
the 11th sparsely populated country in the world. Now, of course, this doesn't apply
Almost
to
top
all
10.
of Canada, as it do have some large cities, but as a whole, the country is very spacious. Number 5, the wildlife. From bobcats to bison, and from beavers to bears, Canada really does have it
Was it a bear climbing a tree? I think I would freak out if I ever saw that.
all. There are amazing wild animals and birds to be seen across this
those
vast
wolves?
country. And what you see
I'm sorry, they look like dogs. They look like huskies.
from province to province will completely differ also. Number 4, it's education and healthcare. Similar to the UK's NHS, Canada's Medicare system offers free basic healthcare to everyone,
As it
based
should be.
on need rather than the ability to pay. It's paid for by the Canadian citizens, pitching in
Taxes.
towards the system via their taxes.
Better
Canada's
concept.
education system is leaving rivals in the dust. According to surveys run by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, Canada was one of only a handful of countries appearing in the top bracket for maths, science and reading. Number 3,
Oh,
it's a safe
so a lot of categories. I'm wondering if college is free or if there are private universities.
place to live and visit.
Of course, there are private universities, but I'm wondering if they have free as well.
Canada is considered one of the safest countries in the world due to its overall low crime rates. That's both violent and petty, and trusted police force. Of course, Canada is no
It's because everyone's so nice that no one has any interest in doing crime.
angel. Crime still does occur, especially in the major cities. But
Well-
compared to many
Okay, yeah, of course. In big cities, of course, you're gonna have petty thief because it's normal.
other major countries, it is very safe. In the global peace rankings, Canada actually ranks at a very impressive 6th
Wow,
place in the
okay.
world. It's also the 16th least corrupt nation in the
Oh.
world. Number 2, Canada has some of the best cities in the world. Cities in Canada are modern, smart, stylish, and very clean. A big attraction
Clean,
for those
okay.
wanting to travel or move there. It's perfect for those who like the great
I love that they have the cities and they also have these beautiful natural landscapes as well.
outdoors, as well as that urban convenience. Canada's cities are spacious,
Yeah.
well designed, and very easy to get around. You can easily live in a large suburban house and commute to work. As in any country, whilst it's true that the bigger cities such as Toronto and Vancouver may be crowded and expensive, you don't have to go far outside the city centre to find a comfortable and affordable lifestyle. And finally, number
But I'm wondering how expensive actually, compared to prices in the US probably.
1, it's clean air. It's official,
Oh.
Canadians breathe some
Okay,
of the
clean air.
cleanest air on the planet. A report by the Fraser Institute recently
I don't know what is this place, but it's gorgeous. It looks untouched by human hands.
ranked Canada 9th out of the 33 richest and cleanest countries on the planet. If you're thinking of emigrating to Canada from the UK,
maybe it makes sense because they have a lot of woods and a lot of trees. Of course they have cleaner air than other countries.
this has got to be one of the top draws. Living in a country with clean air is so
Is that a top draw? Would you evaluate clean air before moving somewhere? Probably yes, I guess.
beneficial to your health and will help to prolong your life. So
Yeah, it's nicer.
there we have it. 12 reasons why we think Canada is the best
that a
country
castle? What
in
is
the
this
world.
place?
Of course, just like any other country in the world, it's not perfect. It does have some drawbacks, but we believe that Canada ranks very highly in so many different
Yeah.
areas. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support we've been getting lately. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you very soon in the next video.
Okay, I know that probably Canadians are probably gonna hate this because I'm comparing them to the US. But I couldn't help but notice throughout the whole video, this is sort of, again, and I know maybe it's a bad comparison, but I think sort of, I think it makes sense. But it's sort of, this country it's kind of a better sort of, a better upgraded United States. It's not just because, and I know they're different, it's not really the same. But I think they have a lot of similarities besides, of course, being neighbors, of course, and it's only natural that I think neighboring countries share a lot of similarities. So it's sort of, yes, you know, I get it. Canadians have their own identity, and it's a whole, obviously it's a whole different country from the US. But I think, you know, seeing all these incredible things, it's okay. So you're sort of an upgraded USA. And I know maybe this is a bad comparison on my part, but that was the vibe that I was getting. I think the whole thing, because it's only, well, the natural sort of landscapes, I think those are pretty unique to this country. Although I know there are some mountain ranges that I think follow along the US and then they sort of go and continue over to Canada. But I don't know what I was about to say. Maybe a little this is a little bad, but maybe Canada got the better half of the deal. I don't know, they're pretty over there. No, of course the US has some gorgeous landscapes as well, but I think again they have some beautiful parts as well. No, it's not a competition. No one's coming out on top. No one's gonna win. But I just because of that and the whole, for instance, they're safer in general. And they have the whole cleanest air, for instance, there's less pollution. There's less, I think, probably fewer cities, and maybe, I don't know, depending on how you see it, this could be good or bad. Because, yes, of course, you know, a place doesn't necessarily have to be this big metropolitan cities in order for people to have nice lives and to be happier. But I think it's good that they have both bustling cities, and if that's what you like living in metropolitan areas, you can, and they're very modern looking, and they're very urban, which is great. But also, if you like sort of more natural spaces and you want to live fresh, you want to breathe in fresh air and you want to live close to nature, you can also do that. And it's good because you're not I don't know how rural those parts of Canada actually are. I mean, they made it seem as if, no, you can be sort of relatively close to a city. And even though if, you live in the middle of the woods, you live in the middle of nowhere, maybe in the reality, it's, of course, you're sort of away and separated, but you're not technically that far away from the cities, which that would be perfect. I think that would be the perfect balance. It's okay, well, I can live in this sort of rural area and again be breathing the natural sort of landscapes and the fresh air and no pollution and everything, and it's great. And I can still sort of I can get the urban city life, and I can live my life in both spectrums, and without needing to I have to move, or I have to maybe get away for, I don't know, I'm going to take a vacation because it's so far away, and the city, and I'm busy and I'm stressed but with the city life, and I would have to take a trip, I don't know, for 2 months or 3 months to make it worth it to sort of this beautiful natural landscape. They made it seem as not necessarily. You can sort of get the best of both worlds, and it can in the same sort of, in the same sort of time zone, to put it that way. But I think it's obviously that's incredible as well. But the whole, I think what made it seem it's sort of an upgrade in the USA. It's they have all of those, besides being safer in general, they also have free healthcare. They have this the educational system is great. And I don't think the U.S. I mean, yes, of course, the educational system. I think it's not that good. Yes, of course, in the sort of elementary and probably it depends high school level as well. But it's obviously the U.S. has great colleges as well. I'm not putting them down and say but it's a bad it's a bad American college. No, of course not. But they made it seem as well. I think Canada is a little bit better in that sort of educational sort of, I don't know how they measure this. That in these sort of, I don't know, the statistics that they sort of that they do, or that they sort of quantify everything. Apparently Canada, it's a little bit better. So again, isn't this sort of, it's better than the US? I think the only thing that probably, and again, I know it's really bad of me to compare them, because it is in a competition. But they were mentioning, I think economically, they're doing great, they're doing incredible. Only that it's again, they're being sort of swallowed by the U.S. because it's the curse. I think it's probably both a blessing and a curse to be that close to this huge, gigantic powerhouse as it is the USA. Because again, people are obviously going to compare them, especially because they speak the same language and they're quite similar, I think, in a lot of ways. So they're kind of like cousins. And again, it's bad to compare. But yes, of course, worldwide, people are going to compare them. And because the USA takes up so much space in the sort of the cultural mind of everyone, and politically and economically, because it's huge, then of course Canada is always going to come down. Well, it's going to come up, a little. In comparison, I don't think their economy is probably not that big. They have fewer people, and etc. etc. But if you see it like that, it's not necessarily that it's bad. It's just that, if you compare it to just behemoth that is the USA, of course, no one can compare. They just have a lot of people, so of course their economy is going to be greater. They have a lot of industries and whatever. But I think it's really funny that no, but just if you take it out, if you take the USA out of the equation and you just take Canada, no, they're doing incredibly well. So, okay, I guess people, because it's sort of a mystery, I think Canadians have this reputation for being so nice, and everyone's sort of chill, laid back, and very polite and just nice in general. But apparently they're also, they're doing well in other aspects of life. They're doing great when it comes to pollution. They're I don't know what other sort of, I don't know if sustainability is big over there, but at least they have a lot of clean air, which is great. But the whole healthcare system, the economy, the industries, it's all going upwards for them, which I'm glad. But just seeing the other things in general, just those beautiful landscapes, and I think how sort of Canadians live their lives, it's okay. People are I don't know why people are sort of flocking over to Canada in order to move. I don't know. Maybe they are, and I just have no idea. But I think it looks so incredibly beautiful. It looks so pretty. Just by the whole, again, visually, it's so incredibly appealing that I don't think people would be hard to, I don't think you would need a lot of convincing to sort of, hey, do you want to move to Canada? I don't think people would need a lot of, I don't know, I have to think about this. Just visually talking this and speaking, wow, no, it's beautiful. Yeah, we wouldn't want to live here. And again, I love the fact that they have both they have the cities and they also have this woods, and it's incredible. So it is kind of, again, not to compare, but I am comparing them. All those big cities, I think, obviously, I don't think you can compare them to to bigger sort of metropolitan areas as in London or New York or maybe Paris, because I don't get that vibe. I think they're chiller in general. And probably there's fewer people just because, again, Canada apparently not a lot of people live there, not a lot of population density, but it's good because again, you have more, you're gonna have more space, and yes, the houses are gonna be bigger, and yes, you're just gonna have more space in general. You're not gonna feel super crowded, as in, there's, you can't actually sort of live life because you feel everything's sort of crammed together. So again, it's sort of not to compare to those big city areas, but and those big huge cities, but it's sort of similar. I think maybe to a smaller city, maybe Boston, I would say, sort of. I think. And I like it. And yes, this kind of videos are making me okay. Where do I want to move to Canada? Apparently, I do. Where do I sign? This looks incredible because they made it sound so positive and so incredibly nice. And again, just visually, everything looks so incredibly pretty that it's just of course, I want a house there. Maybe not to move, but I think I would love to have this sort of retreat house in the middle of the woods, and because those are probably the most beautiful parts. And that, I don't know what that house, or it was a hotel, I have no idea, and what province this was, that all those beautiful woods, yes, I would love to have, if not to move, well, yeah, maybe not, but I would love to have a sort of a retreat house in sort of a vacation home in Canada, in the Canadian sort of wilderness. And yeah, maybe they don't have a wilderness, and just know you can find this in several cities of several Canadian cities. But yeah, I would love to know where was this place because it was gorgeous. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye!